episode of the Reclaim Your Divinity series with yours truly, Amanda Cannon. So I have been doing some rebranding and going forth with the name of Reclaim Your Divinity for my business. We'll Reclaim Your Divinity with Amanda Cannon. And so this is the first episode of the Reclaim Your Divinity series. And I'm really excited to share it with you today. So I co-create with you to transcend your limitations by clearing, activating, and aligning you with you so that you can reclaim your divinity. And so this series is going to help you do just that. And in episode 1 is how to identify any resistance and allow your manifestations in. You know, quite often those really important manifestations, those things that we hold true to our hearts or we really desire, can take some time to come in, and we wonder why is that happening, what's going on. So today I'm going to talk you through 3 ways to identify resistance within yourself that could be blocking your manifestations from coming in. Now, the reason that I decided to start with this episode today is because obviously there is so much going on astrologically, and you know, we see all the posts going around Facebook talking about how now's the time to rise up, all the big shifts are happening, you know, the new beginning is upon us, and we catapulted to your new timeline, all those sorts of things. And it is that way. But to be able to harness that energy and to really go with that ride, we need to be consciously aware of where we're holding ourselves back so that we can let that go. Now, this is only if you are holding yourself back. If you're not holding yourself back, then that's amazing. But if you feel that you might be, and you would know, then this will be a really great episode to tune into to help you identify what you need to let go of or where you need to change your thoughts. And so in the 3 areas that I'm going to focus on is, well, it all starts with your thoughts. And the thoughts that we think create our emotions, which emits the vibration. And if that vibration or emotion is not aligned with the manifestation that you're wanting to bring in, well, you're not going to align with it. And these emotions, they lead us to taking action or inaction. So I'm going to show you how you can identify resistance in your thoughts, in your feelings, and in your actions. And I just encourage you to sort of meet these ideas or resistances with curiosity, looking at ways to, well, why are they there? That is the inner work. Why are they there, and what can I do to change it, to let it go, to really let it go, so that we can align with that reality, that new timeline, that manifestation, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so jumping on in and starting with our thoughts. So, you know, just being aware of what are your thoughts on the daily. Like from the moment you wake up in the morning, what are your first thoughts? Because that can really set the energy for the day. And if you're waking up thinking, oh man, I've got to go to the grocery store and I've got to do all this and take this person here and pick this up all before 10 o'clock and I've only got, you know, this amount of time and whatever it may be, or, oh, I've got to have this conversation with this person, I'm a bit nervous about it, I'm not looking forward to it, or I can't believe they did that to me, like why did they even do that to me, and I need to have this conversation now. You know, whatever thoughts that we start the day with, that's going to set the energy for the day. And then all throughout the day, like, we are often unaware of our thoughts. Like, how often are you just off in la la land? For example, when you're driving the car and you suddenly got from A to B and you're like, crap, I don't remember how I got here. It's just sort of like on autopilot. And what thoughts were you thinking in that time? Do you even know? How often are we just lost in thought without being aware of what those thoughts are? And so choosing to become consciously aware of your thoughts, and what are they focused on? Where are your thoughts focused? What areas of your life are they focused on? Are they focused on your children and parenting? Are they focused on your relationship? Are they focused on finances? You know, what area of your life do you spend a lot of time thinking about? And then, what are those thoughts in relation to those areas? So, you know, in regards to finances, are you thinking, oh shit, I don't know where I'm going to get the money to pay my mortgage this week, and oh, I don't, you know, I'm going to have to get another job, or like whatever it may be. Or, you know, in relation to relationship, oh, I'm just never going to find the person, the perfect partner for me. It should have happened by now. I'm getting too old to have kids. Whatever. I'm just throwing some things out there. So, you know, what areas are you focusing on, and how do you think about those areas? Now, the important thing to note is that if you're manifesting, say, finances, and so you're choosing to consciously be aware of your thoughts in the financial area of your life, and you're thinking positively, and you're doing the visualizations, and you're doing all the things, and then when we come to the relationship area of our life, we're in the, oh, I'm not good enough, or I'm never going to have somebody who loves me and respects me, and or whatever. So if we have two big areas in our life and we're manifesting in one, and we're consciously doing all the things in one, but then we're letting ourselves think more negatively in the other, well, then that negative thought process in the other is going to block the finances from coming in. Because in order to align our vibration with that financial goal that we're trying to manifest, or whatever it is, we need to be feeling good. We need to be resistant free. And when we have resistance in one area of our life, it impedes all areas of our life. So that's why it's so important to be aware of your whole life in general, as opposed to just the one area that you're manifesting. And then when we are thinking, so, you know, you're manifesting the finances, and you're thinking all the positive things, and you're doing the affirmations, and you're doing the visualizations. Now, the important thing to know here is, do you believe them? Because if we can say whatever we want. Like, I can turn around and say, I'm a boy, but I'm not a boy. I got boobs and a vagina. I'm not a boy. So, but I can say that I'm a boy, but it doesn't mean that I believe that I'm a boy. So if we say, I believe that $10,000 is coming to me, but you actually don't believe it, then that belief, that core belief, is going to emit the emotion or the vibration of, I actually don't believe it. And so it's being aware, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit more when we go into the feelings of, do you actually believe the thoughts that you were thinking? Now, so yeah, the thoughts create our emotions. And so it's just so important to be aware of our thoughts, because then they dictate how we feel. And then, you know, so often when you start the day with the thinking about the conversation you've got to have with your boss, and so you get out of bed, and then all of a sudden the kids are pissing you off straight away, and you spill your coffee on yourself as you're walking out the door, and then you have an accident on your way to work. Is that thought is spiraling, getting your nervous system fired up, etc., etc., and then that is law of attraction is bringing those other events to you, because that's the vibration that you're emitting. Whereas if we started the day thinking, okay, I know what I'm going to say to my boss, I feel good about what I'm going to say, and whatever happens, happens, and blah, 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 and we can just sort of switch the way that we think and feel about it, then we might find that we have a different morning. So when we're talking about our feelings, it's important to note, like, how do you feel on the daily? Like when you wake up first thing in the morning, or when you're moving throughout the day, just how do you feel in general? Like, what's the dominant feeling on a day-to-day basis? Do you feel lethargic? Do you feel low on energy? Do you feel happy for a moment, but then you sink back into lethargy or low on energy? Do you just feel meh? Do you feel sad? Do you feel like life is a challenge, life is a struggle, and that's, everything is hard? Maybe you do feel good on the daily, and that's amazing. And so it's about working towards feeling good, because when we feel good, when we feel those high vibration emotions such as fun, joy, just, that saying high on life, where you just like got a skip in your step and you're just doing a little dance in the kitchen, and you're just cracking jokes and being silly, having fun, just doing the dishes. That's the sort of feeling we're going for, to align ourselves with the manifestation, the new reality that we are wanting to bring into us now. And so, how do you feel in general, but also how do you feel in relation to the topic that you are manifesting? And, being true with yourself here. Because if you're saying, I'm manifesting $10,000, and when you say it, you're really like, that will never happen to me. Or like, I've never been able to do anything like that before. Like, what's going to change now? Or like, you feel like just that resistance in that stomach. You know how you get that knot in your stomach? So this is a good way to test, is to sort of close your eyes and go within and just say your affirmations, or the things that you're saying in relation to wanting that manifestation to come in, and be really tuned into your body as you say it, and be aware of any resistance, any restriction, contraction of the muscles. So that it can be so subtle. But if you feel your body tense up at all, or you feel that sort of knot in your stomach, or something that is just showing you that there is actually some resistance there when you say, I believe $10,000 is coming to me. So then it's your job to go in and find out what that resistance is. And then that is also what I help you do. One of the things I do is hypnotherapy, which identifies just that, the root cause of why that belief of not believing the $10,000 is coming to you is actually there. And so just sort of testing yourself in how you feel about the topic, and do you believe it, by feeling how you feel when you think about it. Because if you feel any kind of resistance or negative emotion or sadness, so if you're thinking about the $10,000 that you've been manifesting for the last 12 months and it's still not here, and you're starting to get frustrated and you're starting to get sad that it's not here, then there's no point thinking about it. There's no point actually trying to manifest it. Because when you're thinking about it and getting sad and frustrated that it's not here, you're just stacking those roadblocks, piling them on up, and putting more and more and more resistance, creating a bigger gap between you and the $10,000. And so just switch your thoughts. Switch your thoughts to things that make you feel good, that emit that positive vibration. And then the next thing on feelings is, how do you feel about your current situation? So how do you feel that you don't have the $10,000 yet? Or how do you feel that you don't have the perfect partner yet? How do you feel that your living situation is not perfect, or you haven't lost the weight? Whatever it is, how do you feel about your current situation? And again, that is the frustration, the sadness, is there any, self-shaming on the fact that you haven't done it? Oh, I should have been able to do it by now, or I can't believe that it hasn't come in yet, or you're pissed off at the universe. That's a big one. That's a big one that I've been through, and I'm sure everyone has, is you're just getting pissed off at the universe. Like, you're meant to be delivering this shit to me. But the thing is, this is a co-creation. The universe can do all the astrological changes and have all the energies and so forth, but unless you actually work with it and co-create with it and do your own inner work to align with it, then you're just going to be stuck in the same place going through the tumble dryer. And not much change is going to be happening. So I'm just checking into where I'm up to. Yeah, so fully surrender into the situation. So if you aren't feeling okay about your situation, then you need to find a way to get there. And that's fully surrendering to the current situation. And it doesn't mean that you have to accept it. It doesn't mean that you have to go, oh, this is the way my life is. I just have to accept it. This is the current situation for now. And I know that I am a creator and I co-create with the universe. And that by releasing myself from the control of the situation and just being present and finding fun and joy in my day, I am raising my vibration and aligning myself with my manifestation. So finding ways to fully surrender yourself to the situation and be okay with it and find joy in it. Okay, so, and then the next piece is, how do you feel when things outside of your control don't go the way you want to? So it might be the traffic. It might be the person who said the thing to you. It might be the partner broke up with you, or whatever it may be. When those sorts of things happen, how do you respond? Do you get triggered and get all pissed off and get all fiery and get all upset and stomp your feet? And we all get triggered. Those triggers, those contrasts are there to help us find our way to what we do want. They show us what we still need to heal to find our way to what we do want. And when we think of our emotions as your number one guidance system to know whether or not you're on the right path, and every time that you feel a negative emotion, that is not in alignment with your right path. That is not in alignment with how your inner being is feeling. And so when you do get triggered, do you give your power away to that situation? Do you shut down your consciousness and subconsciously react? And if you do, how long do you stay there for? If you just start to, blame others for the way that you feel. If you didn't say those things to me, then I wouldn't be so upset. And I actually did this morning, and it's a bit of a big lesson for me. It was a bit of a rushed morning for me, and everything was all going fine. But we went a different way into school to drop my son off. And so because we drove in a different way, it was better for me to park in a different spot. We were also quite late, which means that it was going to be challenging to find a park anywhere. So I thought, we'll just drive in and park in this spot. And I found a car park there. And my son got upset. He's like, why are you not parking up at the same spot? I'm like, because we've come in a different way, and this car park is available, and we're just going to get out here and walk up. And he was getting all upset at me, saying, no, he wants to park up the top. And, you know, my son is quite routine focused. He likes certain things done the same way every day, that needs to be done the same way, the same way, the same way. And so doing something different, it triggered him. And he's arguing with me about the spot, the fact that we parked in a different spot. And so me being conscious of time, I'm like, all right, mate, let's just go. We'll go find another park up there. And I was sort of getting agitated at this point, and I've just put the car straight back into reverse and reversed out and banged into another car. And I'm like, oh, mate, damn it. And so I gave my power away to Jericho in that moment, allowing his emotions to influence me. And if I hadn't have done that, if I had have stayed in my power and just been there for him and supported him through needing to do the routine out of order, then we would have stayed in the car, and I would have just helped him get out and taken him up to class, and we wouldn't have had the little praying. And so that was a lesson for me. Always stay in your power. So yes, don't give your power away to others or blame others for how you feel, because that's the first thing I noticed that came out of my mouth was, mate, if we didn't have this argument, I wouldn't have had that conversation, that I wouldn't have hit the car. And he turned around to me and said, Mum, you're the one who wasn't looking. And I'm like, you're right. It's not your fault. It is my fault. I wasn't looking. I wasn't paying attention, and I gave my power away. So that was something I just had to have a laugh about and say, thank you, universe, for pulling it back. This is the shit I work really hard to remain empowered in. And so when I don't, today, obviously, the universe was like, just be aware. Anyways, so, and then, you know, a lot of empaths, I notice a lot of empaths say that they don't want to go out and they don't want to be around people because of how it makes them feel and how all the energy makes them feel. And I totally get that. And how are we giving our power away then? You know, do you want to stay in your home all the time and be a homebody? And if you do, and you know, you living a joyful, fun, happy, emotionally fulfilled life, then that is fine. But if you're lonely at home, then find ways to protect your energy and, you know, empower yourself to be strong and grounded in your energy and your empowerment to go out and be around others. And so this leads into our actions. And so, you know, what actions are we taking to bring our manifestations in? We can't, most of the time, just sit there and think our manifestations into reality. We need to follow our emotional compass and our guidance for that inspired action, that idea to bring the manifestation in, that idea to bring in the $10,000, or that idea to find the perfect partner or lose weight. So we can't just be sitting at home and not going out, not going on Tinder, or not, I don't even know what dating apps there are these days, but not doing the online dating thing, and not going out with our friends to dinner or going to the gym or whatever it may be, and expect to meet the perfect partner. So, you know, what actions are you taking, or what inactions are you taking? Where are you making excuses to stop yourself from being in the manifestation? Well, I've got too much to do at home, or I don't have the time, or I don't have the energy, or whatever it may be. You know, what excuses are you making to stop yourself from taking the action? And then when you do take action, are you taking action from the wounded masculine or from in-flow divine inspiration? And so this is where a lot of us get stuck, is when we're like, right, I am going to find the perfect partner, I'm going to do it right now. And so you're just sitting on your phone, click, 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 and, you know, going out, blah, 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 doing all the things. But you're not in alignment. You're not in your divine flow. You're not following your intuition. Then we're doing things from the wounded masculine. And then the person that we are going to attract in is not necessarily going to be in alignment with the person that we truly desire. And the same thing with, you know, the $10,000. What are we going to do to make the $10,000? And you're just like forcing it, and it doesn't come. So we've got to find this balance of surrendering to the current moment and waiting for the divine inspiration to take action and feeling good and working to get yourself feeling good, because when you feel good, you are in alignment, and when you're in alignment, that's when the divine inspiration comes. So it's a matter of surrendering to action, because a lot of the time our desire to be action orientated is a need for control. And then that's something that we really need to let go of, because if you're trying to manifest something, you can't control how it comes in. And if you try to control how it comes in, then you're just blocking it again. So can you really surrender to taking action by not taking action? And no, not taking action out of excuses. Got to identify the difference. But not taking action because you trust that it is coming and you enjoy the unfolding of it. You get yourself into alignment, you feel good, and wait for the inspiration. So I know that there is a lot of information there around ways to identify any resistance you have to your manifestations. And so if you are feeling that you are blocking yourself in, you know, multiple areas of what I just covered off, then maybe you do want help to identify what the root cause of your resistance is, or clear your energy field, clear out the density of the past. You know, it's, you know, all of these beliefs and ideas around why we can't have our manifestations, they're all just beliefs from the past, outdated, no longer serving us. And so if you need help clearing out that energy and identifying your core thought process so that you can gently reframe them to align your energy and your thoughts with your manifestation, then that is something that I can help you with. And if that is something that you would like help with, then my DM is definitely open. Please just feel free to message me at any time. And or alternatively, you can just comment on below the video in the comment section on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and just comment manifestation, and I will reach out to you, and we can just have a little chat and see where you're at. So that is it for episode 1 of the Reclaim Your Divinity series with Amanda Cannon. It's been a pleasure to share with you for this first episode, and I'm excited to see what comes through for the next one, what information I'll be sharing with you then. So that will be in a fortnight's time, 2 weeks' time, which is the 5th of May, it looks like. So stay tuned for that one, and I shall see you then. Bye.